It's more or less going to just be an update and where I've been and a little bit about what my plans are for the year. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nonetheless, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. As for what you guys see, I'm probably not going to put anything crazy together. It'll probably just be some Legends content, but that's not really the point of the video. The point of the video is what I'm saying, so please be sure to pay attention if you can. I know that's hard for some of y'all. It's hard for me too. No, jokes aside, so I hope you guys are doing well, first and foremost. I haven't really made much content in the last couple of weeks. That's part of the reason why this video is even a thing. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had, a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that, stuff. And if you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, then I hope that you just had, good days and, your period, your time period for you, that time period for you was, good. So anyways, moving on. I personally spent some time with my family. It's really nice to get out of the house and travel to visit some family every now and again. We don't really get the chance to do that all too often. I moved to where my girl lives, and we basically spend all the holidays with her family, and I don't really see mine but maybe once a year. It's not like they're too far. It's just an hour and a half away or something like that, but it's kind of a hassle, packing up my two daughters, and they're two toddlers, so it's not like they're really self-sufficient, but it's a hassle, packing them up, taking them down, and having that affair, that whole day affair. And they can kind of be a little high maintenance, and having to chase them around and make sure they don't get into stuff they're not supposed to. So it's a little bit tedious, but we do it once a year or whatever, and we had a good time. That's basically what I was up to. And like I said a second ago, I haven't really made too much content since about Christmas, and on Christmas I had a Hercule video that went up. I thought that was awesome. I had a lot of fun making that video. If you didn't see it, it's still up. You could check it out. But I had videos that I was working on, because typically anytime I'm going out of town or things like that, I'll record a bunch of videos in advance, or if I want to take a break, because YouTube is my only job, by the way. I don't have anything else, and it has been for like 8 years. I don't have anything else that I'm doing, so I don't really have a schedule per se. But if I want to kind of take a full-on day off, I have to kind of get stuff in advance, because I do daily content most of the time. Aside from this 2-week period, I'm doing daily content for you guys, and that's 1 video, 2 videos. It just depends on how much I can really put on my plate. And I had videos that were done, I just didn't put them out. And I came home after a few days and kind of thought about it. I'm home, so I can put those videos that I did out, and I was like, no, I don't really want to do that either. And I was like, I'm home, I could record, and it's like I kept procrastinating, and it's like, I don't really want to record either. And then I kind of started to realize that after all those years, since 2015 or April 2015, I believe is when I started my YouTube channel, that my drive had started to fall a little bit. And I think that's normal when you have something that you do consistently every day for years. And 2 weeks was the longest break I ever intentionally took. I had my channel stolen for a couple of weeks once, but that wasn't a break that I intended to take, and I still actually made content that I could upload whenever I got the channel back, so I was still recording. But this time I completely just sat down, and I was spending time with my family. After that, I was playing my PlayStation, because I finally got a PS5, and setting that up and downloading my games. I was playing a lot of like Marvel Midnight Suns. Right now I have a review copy of One Piece Odyssey that I'm playing, but really just Sonic Frontiers, Forces. I've been playing games, so I've just been chilling, but I wasn't really looking too much at coming back and doing content. It wasn't something that was at the forefront of my mind, and I sat down today to record, and I was a little nervous. I was like, I feel a little nervous to even sit down and record. I've also, for the record, some of this has extended out into this week, when I was supposed to be back fully on Monday. I even tweeted about that. Some of that has extended out into this week, because I've also been making changes. I haven't just been sitting around playing games and chilling. I've been making changes. I've made some changes to my PC in terms of some of the software I have, and I'm using physical changes. I got a new capture card, setting some of this stuff up. So it's been taking, so I got a new tablet that I'm recording on. It's been taking some time to set all that up and get things fluid the way that they used to be. But, you know, I sat down today and I was nervous to record, and I was like, I haven't played Legends PvP in that entire period, because I typically only play PvP. Not that I don't enjoy it, but I enjoy it best in small doses. I typically only play it when I'm recording, though. I don't like playing it too much off camera. It's not that I don't have time. That's the thing too, is this is why I don't upload 5 videos a day anymore. Like, I really commend like my boy Truth and that he can still do that, but I just don't have the time. Once I started having kids and stuff, I don't have the time anymore. But yeah, I don't really have the time to play Legends. It requires too much attention. It's not like Marvel Strike Force, which I play a lot on my phone. I don't have time to do that. Anyway, so I've been working on that, and otherwise, I want to kind of segue into what my plans are for this year. Like I was mentioning a second ago, my drive was starting to wane a bit, and I'm still not positive that I feel, you know, fully into it. And I think some of that too for me is, as I've gotten a little older, it's just become really easy for my whole day to be derailed. If a couple of things kind of start to get me down, I start to just, I don't know if it's like, if I'm going to go as far as saying like depression or anything like that, but I start to really just lose all motivation to do much of anything. And this is affecting YouTube, my workout drive, which I've been working out pretty consistently for years, and I finally started to let myself go a little bit because I started going to the gym and basically half-assing it. And like, you know, my drive just isn't, and it's like everything, and it doesn't take much, man. It doesn't take much. So I have to find a way to work through that, because I'll have a good day, and then all of a sudden a couple things don't go my way, or it's not that petty, but a couple things happen and my day is ruined, you know, type deal. Or at least that immediate time period for me is ruined. I need to relax and chill for a second, then get my mind right again. But I mean, as an adult with kids, I don't really have that luxury to do that. I have to work, you know. I've taken 2 weeks off. I can't really do it much longer. So I've got to kind of find the middle ground. I don't know if my drive is fully back, but I do want to get back to producing content because I enjoy producing content. It's not that I do it because I have to or I don't enjoy it. I enjoy it. But I'll tell you that I have been in this period where for the last year and a half, my channel hasn't been doing great. And when you're putting out content, you're working, and you're not seeing what you would what you would like to see or what you think you should be seeing. No matter what changes you make, some changes aren't going to always go over well. No matter what content type you're putting out, like if you're not seeing what you're thinking you should be seeing, then it does weigh on you, right? So that is also part of it too, because I'm pretty sure that if my channel was still doing as good as it was a couple years ago, I would have higher drive to just sit down and crunch out videos, you know? So I'm sure that's part of it as well. But I think that with that, my channel hasn't been doing as great the last couple of years. And I really want to hard commit to this year switching things up. Like, I've always, if you look at my track record for this channel, I have always produced multiple types of content. This channel wasn't a Legends channel. If you're new to the channel, like I said, it started in 2015. It started with Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It started with other games like Batman Arkham Knight, I believe, came out that year. It started with Xenoverse 1, like I was saying. It started with Dokkan being released. It started with Dragon Ball Super's anime. I used to do a ton of anime series discussions. Like you can find some of those older videos, and a lot of people still do them, but I used to, you know, talk a lot about that. I would have people like Geekdom on the channel, and I used to talk to those people. There were so many things I used to do at this channel, and it turned into being mainly a Dokkan channel, and then it transitioned to being more of a Legends only channel, right? So I want to open those borders back up again. I want to hard commit this year to trying to do more content types. And the problem with that is there's two hurdles when it comes to doing that. The first is YouTube itself is not always kind. It's really hard to do those types of videos and have them catch on to the audience that you have subscribed, because they're used to certain content, right? They're not used to other content, so they're just not going to click it. You can promote it however you want to. You're only going to get, say, 15 to 20% of your regular viewership on those videos organically. So what you need from there is for YouTube's algorithm to pick the video up and start sharing it to the pockets of the internet that actually is looking for that type of content. But it's hard to get the YouTube algorithm to pick the video up to even do that in the first place if the video isn't performing well naturally. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a catch-22. So that's why it's always really hard to branch out on YouTube, because you get put in a bubble, and YouTube will tell you otherwise, some other creators will tell you otherwise, but it's just excessively hard to spread your wings like that. And you can push through that, right? You can keep pushing out content, keep working, keep going steadily, and surely you will build a subscriber base and audience for that content, right? There will always be some division, because people are people. They're only going to click on what they want to see. I've come to that realization, right? Came to it years ago. But there will always be division, but what's going to wind up happening is, like I said, you can build a separate base for that. The next thing you can do is just start another channel from scratch. But the problem with starting another channel is, one, it's exceptionally hard. If you don't have the time for one channel, it's exceptionally hard to have the time for another channel. I have multiple channels that I really struggle to put the content on. It's really hard if you don't have the time. Secondly, you run into the same issue, basically, where, oh, well, if I want to play this game, why don't you just make another channel, put this game over here? Or maybe, like, if you were like, if I wanted to be like a horror channel, I could put out all horror games, because people keep asking me to play horror games for some reason. I don't play horror games. People keep asking me. So that's an example. I can put out like all the horror games that come out on this one channel, and that would be fine. But what happens when I'm done with horror, or I don't find interest in that anymore? The channel just dies. Like, you can't go from horror to this or that. It's the same situation, right? It's like, if people ask me to make more real world content, I could do that, especially if I find a way to relate it to the content you guys are seeing on this channel, but it's really hard to do that. So I think that I want to give it one last final push and try with this channel to expand in whatever ways I can the content here. I don't want to, like I just explained, I really don't want to try to have multiple channels. I already have. I don't want to have another one. I have too many. I don't want to have another one. And I want to try to expand, and I want to try to do some other stuff that's in the same bubble. Maybe I talk about these games from a different perspective. And I've done basically everything there is to realistically do with Dokkan or Legends. Like, I've done all the types of stuff you can basically make content on this game at some point or another. I've done it all, right? So I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about, I have a video I'm going to probably put out sometime soon. Maybe it'll be out before this, where I talk about and I show a graph of the most successful mobile games in the world right now, and kind of talk about how that's happening, things like that. I want to get back to doing more collaborations on, for the record, Legends as well. I haven't done some of those in a while. That's something I want to do and have plans for this year. It's just really hard to match up schedules with people when you don't have time yourself. Like, I'm not saying that as an excuse, it's just the reality. I don't have a ton of time. I probably have an hour or an hour or two a day to really have the time slot that fits into when, you know, I'm free. I'm not trying to hang out with my wife, and my kids are here. We're doing, like, it's, and then after a certain time period, it's dinner time, and then it's putting my kids down, and then it's, I spend a little bit more time with my wife, and then we're going to sleep. It's, the day is like really mapped out. So it's just weird, right? But that's also why I like YouTube, because it's very flexible. So yeah, it's kind of hard to match with people, but I want to get back to doing more collaborations this year. So that is something that I do have planned. I talked about how I've gotten some new hardware and software. I want to change around some of the visuals on the channel, maybe put stuff out. It was already at a good quality, but maybe try to push a higher quality. I want to play some more console-based games, like I explained earlier. I've been playing a lot personally, so why not try to bring some of that to the channel? And there are other things that I have planned too, right? That I want to do for the channel, like some meme content, some Twitter memes. I want to do a lot of stuff. And maybe this year will be the year I get back to doing some face cam sometime soon as well, because I know people have been asking me for that for the last couple of years. I went through like a year or a year and a half where I had face cam on literally every video, but I never really liked it anyway. It's not that I'm like a bad looking guy. It's not like I have really like, I think everybody's a little self-conscious, but like at the end of the day, like I'm there, but like it's not like I have any like, you know, confidence issues. It's none of that, right? It's just I don't like it. Like I don't like the prospect of talking to my microphone and looking at my microphone to make eye contact with you guys. It's nothing with you guys. I just don't like it, you know? It's really just that simple. That's why I don't do it. Also, it's a hassle. The lights start to get hot. It's a hassle to set that up. Also, being black, dark skinned, I have to get the right lighting, otherwise you guys can't see me too great. It's a hassle, bro. Like it really is. So that's just for me. Like I have kudos for. I'm sure you would hear some of the same sentiments for some of my friends too, like Riku or Kuba. They probably say some of the same stuff that I mentioned there. But maybe this should be the year that I do some more of that content as well, because I know that can add another layer to it and also unlock some content. Like I said, I want to do memes. I can do memes, yeah, but I could probably make better memes if I show my face more. Also, I talked about console games. I do have a plan to play the Bardock DLC. I'll probably just upload the Bardock DLC to Kakarot in one full video. Ideally, the day it comes out, which is in like a couple of days at the time of the recording. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, there's more, but I've already gone on for 15-16 minutes or whatever at this point, and I don't want this to be too long. But to summarize, I am back. I took a couple of week break. It's been nice. It's been nice to recalibrate. I'm kind of nervous about coming back. I'm nervous about taking a break on YouTube in general, because it's always been a bad thing. You don't want to take breaks on YouTube. Like if you have to take a break, you want to still at least put a video out once every like 3 days. You don't want to take actual breaks from YouTube because the algorithm is not kind. Analytics also are insanely low when you don't love. Dude, I'm looking at my analytics. I'm like, dude. So yeah. So I took a break. I'm back now. And yeah, that's it. So let me know if there's other things you guys want to see from me. If you have any feedback on anything I said in this video, any tips, anything, let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you all soon.